Okie dokie. Mic check, 1, 2. I think we are live. Let me just double check. Am I sitting here talking to myself? No, we're live, man. We're live. Wait for a few people to jump in and we'll talk some boxing, man. Not done a live stream in a little while, so I thought I would do one. Why not? It's a Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening in the UK. Nice weather, been a good day. Bit tired, but why not talk some boxing, man? Why not? Why the fuck not? Big up to Liam in the chat. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just, busy day at work, but yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Not too bad at all. How about yourself, man? Yes, that's what I'm hearing, Danilo. And it looks like it's going to go down at the Tottenham Stadium in London. So great fight. Fingers crossed we get it over the line. And, once it's official, we can then start breaking it down, talking about game plans, etc., etc. I really like that fight. I really do. I mean, outside of Joshua Fury, I think it's the best fight for Joshua, the most interesting fight. And again, pending on the official announcement, I'm glad it looks like this fight's happening. And as a boxing fan, that's really all I wanted, was this fight to happen. I don't care about none of the extra shit that the fanboys come in with. All I want to see is this fight. It's a good fight, man. It's a real interesting fight. Salute to G-Man Boxing in the house. Yes, big up G-Man. Great channel, by the way. Real good channel. Big up G-Man. Eddie said a few hours ago they are still talking. Hopefully being an announcement in next week. Okay, cool. Great news. It's looking like we're going to get that fight, and it's a fight a lot of people want to see, including myself. So I'm happy with this news. It seems positive. Again, obviously we need to wait till the official announcement, but it's looking positive, man. It's looking positive. Not really, Adair Pennants. I can't really see it. I can't really see it getting bigger anytime soon, put it that way. Yes, big up to plant-based boxing. Salute to you, sir. I do know who you are, man, but big up to you every single time. Have you seen Joshua's movement drills he posted today? No, I've not seen them, bro. Not seen them. I'll need to check them out. Big up to Jiho Park. Salute to you, sir. It's time to get off that Usyk hype train, Dell. AJ's going to fill him in, sorry. Maybe, listen, bro, maybe you're right, J-Dav. Maybe you're right. All I'm saying is, bro, I want to see that fight. I think it's the best. I think Usyk is the best challenge for Joshua as it stands right now. More so than Dillian White, more so than Luis Ortiz, more so than Andy Ruiz. I think Alexander Usyk is the best available opponents, and I think it's a competitive fight. I think it's a dangerous fight for Anthony Joshua. I mean, let's be honest here. If Andy Ruiz can knock out Joshua, a guy who is clinically obese and not a puncher, who knows what Usyk could do? I'm trolling. Semi-trolling. Second channel, hopefully good to go Friday, mate. Oh, nice news, bro. What I'll do, G-Man, if you upload a couple of videos, I'll shout you out on the second channel. Yeah, that'd be a great fight for man who belches. Yeah, a Coley versus Briedis on the undercard. That'd be amazing. It's a great fight. Gets another mandatory out of the way and keeps undisputed chances open. Exactly, AA. Exactly. And it's not like a standard mandatory. Alexander Usyk brings some different attributes to the table, some different skills to the table, which Joshua needs to figure out. So I'm very excited by this fight. I'm very intrigued by it. Can't wait for it. Hopefully it gets officially announced. I can remember when people laughed at cruiserweight division. I think they should scrap some of the midget weight divisions. Yeah, the cruiserweight division's lit, bro. Fight camp should be announced this weekend. Any fight predictions? I think you'll get Fabio Wardley versus Nick Webb. I think you'll get that. You'll get a couple of female fights, but I'm not really sure, to be honest, bro. I'm not really sure. Just popping my head in. Hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Exactly. Salute to Unrivaled. By the way, Shout out to Unrivaled for all of the work he did in regards to his charity stream a few weeks ago. He's recently uploaded a video showing the donations. So big up to Mark. He raised a lot of money. You know, you got to respect that, man. You got to respect it. Exactly, J-Dav, man. It's an intriguing fight. Glad Joshua didn't duck. 100%, bro. And ultimately, that's all I wanted to see is this fight. And it looks like it's going to happen. So, yeah, man. Great news, man. It's great news. Big up to E-Machines. Salute to you, sir. Yeah, run that like button like Miss Piggy runs Pleasant Prairies. Fuck's sake. Yes, big up to Official Scorecard Boxing. My favourite Serbian in the YTBC. Big up to Official. The Bridgerweight division's a waste of time. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, if a good fight is on, I'll watch it, to be honest, but it's not really needed. Let's be honest about it. It's not really needed. Reckon Josh and Usyk will be a great boxing match for 5 or 6 rounds. Then Joshua puts the foot down and knocks out Usyk. I'll be interested, bro. I think it's a hard fight stylistically. See, I think the worst thing Anthony Joshua can do in that fight is come forwards and be the aggressor. I think if I was Anthony Joshua, I would try and draw the lead of Alexander Usyk. Try and be a bit more cute. Try and make Alexander Usyk commit and then time him with that straight right hand or the short right hand. I think Joshua being the aggressor could lend to him, being unstuck, basically. I would rather see Joshua kind of stick behind the jab, try and draw Usyk in and counter him that way. I think Joshua being the aggressor might be a recipe for disaster. Joshua's not a good pressure fighter. He's not. I don't think he can really outbox Usyk. I don't think he can walk him down and beat him up that way. I think he needs to walk him onto a big shot. Similar to the Povetkin fight kind of thing. You know how Joshua was using the low lead hand, trying to draw the lead of Povetkin. That's what I think he should do in this fight. But it's intriguing, man. It's intriguing. And that's all we want to see, man, is good fights, interesting fights. That's all we want to see. Yeah, God bless you all. Big up to Mark. Salute, Mark. Every single time. It's definitely an interesting fight. When was the last time Joshua fought a southpaw? He certainly hasn't fought one of the pedigree of Alexander Usyk, that's for sure. AJ Usyk is a great fight. Indeed, bro. And we're all boxing fans here at the end of the day. And that's what we want to see. Who knows, man? We'll see. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight. Tottenham Stadium, great setting for that fight. Looking forward to it. In fact, who knows? Maybe we might even buy tickets for it. Who knows? The man who belches, he claimed several world title fights at Fight Camp. Assume that's a few women's fights, plus a B-roll title defense against whoever, since Buatsi claims he isn't ready. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Official is my favourite Frenchman, mainly because he's not French. That's harsh, man. Is the fight slated to be in the UK? Yeah, London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I think that's about 80,000 capacity, something like that. I think Usyk's going to have a good start, but AJ gets to him and stops him late. Could happen. Could happen. It definitely could happen. But the thing with Alexander Usyk, he's one of those guys who makes you work even when he's not throwing punches. The constant movement, the changing of angles, the feints, the lead hand control. He'll make you utilize energy without really throwing punches. He's really effective at draining the gas tank of his opponent. So Joshua late stoppage, that's if he's in condition to do it, man. I mean, thinking about the fight, I can see it going a couple of ways. I honestly can't see Usyk winning. Think Wilder has more of a chance knocking out Fury. Damn. AJ is not feather-fisted Fury. He actually defends. Yeah, I mean, Tyson Fury right now is looking like a fucking idiot, if we're being honest. But technically, Deontay Wilder is his first title defense. Make of that what you will. Is Usyk busy enough to win on points? That's the problem. I think Usyk's only chance is a stoppage. And I think he can get a stoppage, a late stoppage. Joshua doesn't have the greatest chin in the world. His gas tank isn't the greatest. If Usyk stops Joshua, it's by accumulation. I can't see it being one shot on the button kind of thing. It would need to be a series of shots where he's drained Joshua's gas tank, made him work, and then come on late kind of thing. That's how I think Usyk could stop Joshua. Because whether people like it or not, Joshua's gas tank is a bit questionable. Well, in my opinion, his chin is as well. Andy Ruiz isn't a big puncher, no matter what anybody says. He couldn't put a dent in He couldn't put a dent in Chris Arreola, for Christ's sake. So Joshua can be hurt. He can gas, and it's up to Usyk to make that happen. Whether he evades that right hand for as long as it takes, who knows? Possible to see Galahad versus Dickens at Fight Camp. Seems MTK won the purse bids, but not moved on it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. That's a decent fight as well, bro. That's a decent fight. The first fight between Kid Galahad and Jazza Dickens was actually really decent, from what I recall. Do you think they're going to Tottenham because Wembley don't allow StubHub anymore? You could be right, bro. Never thought of that, bro. You could be right. Yes, get the likes up for the Silicon Dweebs. Best regards from Brighton, Chris Eubank Senior Country. Big up to Slime Entertainment. Salute to you, sir. Okay, so AA's responding to Unrivaled. Mark, I think Wembley and Matchroom may not be the best pals right now. Eddie lost his deposit last time, and the StubHub ban will definitely involves in the decision. Yeah, you could be right, bro. Usyk's a slow starter. Stamina is key to this fight. I have AJ winning on points because of Canelo judges. You could be right, Michael Buffer. You could be right. I can see Usyk outworking Joshua, but I can see Joshua catching him with a right hand or an uppercut. Yeah. It's an interesting fight, man. It's an interesting fight. I can see Joshua knocking out Usyk. I can see Joshua winning controversially on points, or I could see Alexander Usyk stopping Joshua late on. I think people are underestimating Usyk in the heavyweight division. I really do. It's a hard fight. It's a real hard fight. I mean, I would take Alexander Usyk to beat anybody on Joshua's resume, bar Vladimir Klitschko. I'd confidently pick Usyk to beat Dillian White, Andy Ruiz, Joseph Parker, Charles Martin. I would confidently pick Usyk to beat those guys, stylistically. But it's a great fight, man. That July 10th card is shit if Eddie put... That July 10th card is shit. If Eddie put that show on, he'd get violated because it's Frank Warren. Everyone is actually buying tickets. Yeah, you're talking about the Anthony Yard show. So Anthony Yard is fighting a bin man, and Lyndon Arthur is also fighting an unknown on the same card. If they're going to do the rematch, why not do it right away? What's the point having these guys fight fucking bums on the same card? Just make that fucking rematch, get it done, and move on. That rematch does not need to be built. Slime Entertainment, what a name. Did you see Emmanuel Macron get slapped? I did, bro. I did. Yeah, good shit, man. Shame it wasn't a closed fist, E-Machines, man. Ritson versus Ponce on DAZN in the UK. Is that true, Haydar? I know it's on Sky, but I never knew it was on DAZN as well. Good evening, Junior. Salute to you, sir. Apparently, Fight Camp's going to have 3 world title fights. Fingers crossed, man. All right, Dale just wanted to say that last live when I was talking about mental health, I wasn't trying to look for attention or whatnot. I was trying to make a different point, which didn't really come off in the way I wanted. Yo, Will, just relax, bro. It's no problem at all. Anybody can have their say here. I may disagree. I may agree. It is what it is, man. I'm not going to censor you or talk shit on you for having a different opinion. Unless it's fucking really crazy. Listen, bro, you're free to say what you want, mate. You're free to say what you want. Dale, you're in finance. Explain it to the people how Mayweather just ruined all his future earnings potential. That was the worst decision of Floyd's life. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, Jonathan, I never saw the fight. I watched a couple of highlights, but I mean, the fight was boring as fuck. I think Floyd knows, man, his time is up. I don't think he can do that any longer. Fight these exhibition fights. I mean, apparently the pay-per-view numbers were quite poor from what I'm hearing. Initial reports. I think Floyd knows that he's run that exhibition circuit dry. So if he really wants to make big money from now on, he's going to have to fight somebody half decent, unless he can fight someone like Khabib or maybe Conor in a rematch. He needs to fight somebody real if he wants to make any more money from this point on. But yeah, man, I mean, a lot of people were unsatisfied. Crowd were booing. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Salute to Minimax Boxing, great channel, by the way. And yeah, by the way, check out Minimax Boxing, really, really good channel, and also check out Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News, another good channel. Official Scorecard Boxing, another great channel. Check out these guys, man. All really good channels. Yep, Showtime app crashed. Tons of people are going to demand a refund. Yeah, I heard about that as well. The whole thing really was a circus, to be honest, but I don't blame Logan Paul. I mean, he's doing his thing. There's a gap for him. So, yeah, shame on anybody who purchased it. I could be a fucking billionaire. I wouldn't purchase that shit. Yeah, Ritson's on Sky in the UK. That's what I thought. Yeah, he's fighting Jeremias Ponce, the Argentinian gentleman. Tony Bellew's going to want AJ to revenge him. Can you imagine if Tony Bellew's on commentary or in the arena? You're going to hear this guy scream and shout like a fucking cheerleader. Tony Bellew's an embarrassment, honestly. Hopefully he's nowhere near that fight. But yeah, the news right now seems quite positive in regards to Joshua Usyk. And ultimately, that's all I wanted. All I want is the fight. Fingers crossed it's on a fair playing field. And that's all I want to see, man. That's all I want to see. As I said previously, it is the best fight for Joshua right now available. Now Fury's out of the equation. So let's get it, man. Maybe Ahmed Aliyev's WBA mandatory at Fight Camp since Matchroom won the purse bid. Yeah, you could be right. You could be right. Yep, Yard versus Eamon Atra and Arthur versus Faraci. Who and who? Sad that Callum Johnson is injured again. Yeah, Callum Johnson, was actually quite a good amateur. Won the Commonwealth gold medal. Big puncher. He's a decent fighter, but his career's never really got going. Promotional issues, injuries, and now he's 36 years old, man. So, yeah, Callum Johnson's been a bit of a what if. Again, even if Callum Johnson wasn't injury prone and he had a good promoter, I wouldn't think Callum Johnson would be a world champion, but he'd deliver us a lot of great fights. It's a shame what happened to how his career's turned out. Yeah, I'm in finance too, Del. Joyous Industry. Yeah, tell me about it, Matthias, man. And that's another good channel, by the way, Matthias Unboxing. Check him out. Real good channel. As is Fight Film. Another good channel. Okay, so Neil Marsh is not happy with Eddie because of the way how he's managed Avanesian. They want a world title eliminator or they aren't vacating the European title. Mikey Garcia versus Avanesian predictions. Yeah, you could see that fight, Haydar. That kind of makes sense, but at the same time, Mikey's not going to fuck around and fight some scrub. He's going to want to cash out and be a mercenary. So maybe you might see Avanesian versus I don't know really. I mean, I would love to see Avanesian fight Conor Benn, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So we'll see. Shakur Stevenson versus Jamel Herring. I would favour Shakur Stevenson on points. AJ Morningstar. Big up to Corruption in Boxing. Long time no see, bro. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're keeping well. I'm good, bro. I'm very good. It's been a lovely day here in the UK for once. A nice few days of good weather, actually. So, yeah, I'm doing good, bro. Minimax been trolling everybody on Twitter. Been loving him, winding everyone up. I've seen that. And yeah, don't forget G-Man Boxing as well. Another real good channel. Man. I'll big up to the hidden, by the way. Alexander Usyk is the modern-day Holyfield. The cat did 1 gold medals in the 2011 championship and 2012 as a heavyweight. I predict he'll be a heavyweight champion. I mean, listen, man, the guy's beaten legitimate heavyweights in the amateurs, in the World Series of Boxing. I mean, even in the pro ranks. I mean, look at the Chisora fight, for example. He outperformed Dillian White. He outperformed Joseph Parker, you know? And people say this guy's not a factor at all at heavyweight. I don't see what we're seeing, man. I really don't see what we're seeing. I think he's extremely dangerous in the heavyweight division. He's extremely dangerous. Oh yeah, don't get me started, Minimax. I got a 12-hour suspension on Twitter for saying Matthias punches Lewis Ritson's cunt in. But again, big up to the Hidden for the super chat. And I agree, man. Alexander Usyk is a threat at heavyweight. And I think he's got a legitimate chance against Joshua. The Ritson card piques my interest quite a lot. Great to see Babbage back, liking Scotney a lot versus interesting fight for Ritson. Thomas Patrick Ward is back. Dakare's return, quite interesting for me at least. The main event could be interesting. I mean, Jeremiah Ponce coming out of Argentina. You know, very often fighters from that part of the world, they are either like hidden gems and good or completely shit. So we'll see what Jeremiah Ponce brings to the table. If he's half decent, he'll give Lewis Ritson a real hard fight because Lewis Ritson is nowhere near elite level. He's nowhere near. Daniel Dubois can likely clean out all of the top 5 to 6 heavyweights. In retrospect, the path he's on, Bryant, Char, Helenius is probably suitable. Yeah, I mean, Dubois is 23 years old. They can afford to take their time with him. He stepped up. He kind of got exposed, but he's still young. He can definitely learn from it. I think the Trevor Bryan fight makes sense just because of the WBA regular title. And I agree. After that, I would say maybe someone like Robert Helenius. I think that would be ideal. Pedraza versus Rodriguez. I mean, Julian Rodriguez, from what I've seen, I've not really been all that impressed, to be honest. He looks okay. He's solid, but nothing too special. He's not like a blue chip prospect. So if Pedraza's on his A game, I wouldn't be surprised if Pedraza won, to tell you the truth. Ruiz versus Ortiz for AJ mandatory position, probably next. I know Luis Ortiz is highly ranked now in the WBA. I might consider unsubscribing from DAZN if they bring on Bellew. If Mayweather's fighting nobody, he has to at least stop them. I read multiple polls with casual fans noticing how Floyd stages his fights. So future demand for Mayweather is gone. Definitely, yeah. I think people are seeing through this exhibition fad when it comes to Mayweather. Matthias might catch another body with Ritson. Listen, man, Sabriel Matias is a dangerous fighter. Dangerous fighter. Indeed. You tell me, Haydar. You tell me, man. You know what Twitter's like these days, man. Zan Kazabutski versus Johan Duhaupas. Make that fight serve for a prospect. Yeah, make sense for a prospect. Yeah, it's a good fight, bro. Zan Kazabutski, interesting prospect. Coming out of Kazakhstan. Southpaw, hits hard. I think he's like 15-0 with 14 knockouts. Something like that. Yeah, I'd like to see it, bro. Big up Dale. Why Spurs over Wembley? Has Joshua's star power waned? Well, a lot of people were saying that it's due to Matchroom's relationship with Wembley. Apparently, they don't allow StubHub anymore, Wembley. So maybe it's that. Costa Tszyu versus Aaron Pryor. That's an interesting fight. I mean, if Aaron Pryor could spend significant portions up close, I think he outworks Costa Tszyu, maybe stops him late. But, you know, Costa Tszyu had great timing, great distance control, and a great straight right hand. If he could catch Aaron Pryor coming in, he could definitely do damage. But I think I would lean towards Aaron Pryor in that fight, but hard one to call. Scotney is low-key hot. To be honest, Bump of K, I don't know who she is. That's it, yeah. I think they're going to get Dubois a regular title if they can. But then you're dealing with 2 fights, Dubois versus Bryan and Warren versus King. Yeah, but Frank Warren actually has a good relationship with Don King. These guys have worked together in the past on numerous occasions, so maybe that fight could happen. Maybe it could happen. White Hart Lane, yeah, it's White Hart Lane. It's still a big stadium. Yeah, I think it's like 70, 80,000, something like that. Yet another world champion for Usyk to slay on the road for the perennial road warrior. A great irrespective of the outcome, but I sincerely believe his skills are significantly superior to Anthony Joshua's. It's a very good point. It's a very good point. I do as well, bro. I mean, let's be honest here. If these guys were exactly the same size, height, reach, dimensions, I think most people would pick Alexander Usyk to win this fight. So it's going to be interesting, man. Hit the fucking like button, indeed. How much do you think the DAZN prize hike will be in the UK? I'm thinking under £10. I would say something like £7.99, £8.99, something like that. I don't think it'll be quite 10 quid, but close to it. You know, marketing, if it's at £10 on the dot, it kind of creates a certain look. But if they put it as like £8.99 or £7.99, you know, people are going to psychologically see that, oh, it's less than 10 quid, you know, not even double figures, we'll buy it. Why do people feel like exhibitions will ruin Floyd's legacy? Muhammad Stuttery Ali had 5 exhibition fights and even had one when he was heavyweight champion. Floyd's just making as much money as he can. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I think it's the amount of exhibitions that people are talking about in boxing, like the sheer amount that's going on right now. I think that's really what it's about. In my opinion, if Joshua beats Usyk, that's his best win. I'll give him full credit. Me too, bro. Me too, Bump of Kate. What do you reckon to Joyce versus Yoka? How much of a risk for Joe? I think Joe Joyce walks down on Tony Yoka. I think he'll walk him down. I don't think you'll see Joe Joyce approach that fight to how he approached Daniel Dubois. I think you'll see Joe Joyce go back to his pressure fighting in that fight. I think he'll walk down Tony Yoka. Tony Yoka's a nice technical boxer, keeps his hands nice and high, good 1-2, technically sound, but I'm not convinced about his power. I'm not convinced about his chin, his stamina. To me, he looks like an amateur boxer still, Tony Yoka. I think Joe Joyce walks him down, J-Dav. I really do. Matthias demolishes Ritson, Ponce and Tank, in my opinion. I think he's a problem, Jiho Park. I really do. I think Subriel Matthias is definitely a problem in that weight class. I've not really seen who's qualified, Haydar. I've not really been paying attention to who's qualified. Yeah, Jarrett Thompson. Yeah, his style was always going to age badly. Jarrett Hurd got beat by Luis Arias the other night, who lost to fucking Luke Keeler, man. So yeah, Jarrett Hurd's he's not looked good for a long time now. Jason Wellborn, he looked kind of bad. Lost to Julian Williams. The fight he had coming back, I forgot who he fought. I think it was maybe Carlos Santana, something like that. He looked bad in that fight, and he lost to Luis Arias. Yeah, right now he's looking like a washed up fighter. Tell's not entertaining any female boxing talk. Facts. Again, each to their own, but it's not for me. It's not for me. Exactly, true, but they ain't the same size. AJ's bigger, and size and power definitely count. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Don King feeds his heavyweights to the PBC, e.g. Stavern, Lena, yeah. I rate Usyk highly, but Anthony Joshua is a different beast. I call it a 60-40, but Joshua stops in mid to late rounds. It's my prediction. I'm not going to say my prediction yet, to be honest. I need to study the tapes and have some time to think about it. But I think the smart money, knowing what we know about boxing, and you guys know what I'm getting at, is on Joshua. But I don't know, man. I think it's a hard fight. Has Eddie taken over Barry in Barry's old position, or is Eddie staying with the boxing for a while? Yeah, he's basically in his dad's position, but still looking after boxing, yeah. Willie Pep versus Sugar Ray Robinson was an exhibition. Yeah, Joshua was only 10 pounds bigger than Usyk. Exactly, Android, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Android. Don King is trying to cash out Trevor Bryan to the highest bidder, basically. Most people will pick Usyk against Joshua. Did I hear that right, Del? I don't think that's the case. No, I never said that, I don't think. I just think it's a competitive fight. I think it's a risky fight for Joshua. And there's going to be a lot of people who do pick Alexander Usyk in that fight. And I can see why. Joshua's lost to worse fighters than Usyk, man. I.e. Andy Ruiz. Yeah, Joyce. Yeah, I think Joyce beats up Yoka as well. I think Yoka might be a bit tricky early on, a bit evasive when he's fresh, but I can't see Tony Yoka boxing for 12 rounds against Joe Joyce and keeping him off. I really can't. So yeah, Frank Warren was basically saying that he wants to get Joe Joyce out in the summer, maybe late July, and he was talking about Tony Yoka or Carlos Takam. That means it's going to be Carlos Takam, but I would love to see him fight Tony Yoka. I'd love to see it. Yeah, Joyce beat Yoka in the Olympics was a robbery, and I think he'll probably beat him in the pro ranks. I agree. I've been out all day. Is the AJ Usyk fight confirmed? Basically, no, it's not confirmed, but all reports are now leading to believe that it's going to be at Tottenham Stadium in September, and it's looking positive. It's looking positive. Joe Joyce is the only guy I picked to beat Usyk. Yeah, Joe is definitely a bit of a dark horse in the heavyweight division. Yeah, they mentioned the Takam fight as the alternative. Is that an acceptable fight at this stage for Joe Joyce? I think so, man. I think so. He's been out of the ring for quite some time. Last fought in, back end of November. I would be happy with Carlos Takam. And after that, I want to see Joe really take like a top 10 guy kind of thing. Yeah, Hrgovic beat Yoka as well, even dropped him and was robbed. Yep, Tony Yoka got very lucky in those games. Very lucky. It's kind of funny, though, because the games before that, obviously Joshua won the gold medal, but he should have lost in the first round to Felix Savon. So it swings and roundabouts, really. Joe Joyce should be a legitimate gold medalist, but, that was kind of robbed from him. Yeah, I saw the video you made on that fight film. Really interesting take. See, I never thought of it like that, in that sense in which you laid out, and it made a lot of sense. Yeah, that is true, Wizard Sleeve. That is definitely true. I want Barry Jones, Paulie Malignaggi on commentary, and Frampton, Lloyd, Barker on punditry. I don't mind Barker Lloyd on commentary either on DAZN. Yeah, listen, man. As long as Tony Bellew, Matthew Macklin, Johnny Nelson, Anna Woolhouse aren't in the equation, that's a win. That's a win. Yeah, tricky fight that. He stands off him like Ruiz too. He'll lose a boxing contest with Usyk, in my opinion. He'll have to take the bull by the horns with Usyk. See, I'm not sure. CM Fox. If I'm Joshua, I wouldn't want to see Joshua be aggressive against Usyk if I was like his fan or managing his game plan. I think Joshua needs to try and draw the lead of Usyk and make him come in, make him commit, and try and time him with his straight right, his overhand right, or his right uppercut. I think he needs to walk Usyk onto something. I don't think Joshua needs to apply a lot of pressure, especially early on. I think that could be a recipe for disaster, because if he can't make that count, I could see Usyk stepping off a line, tagging him, gassing him, and down the stretch it becomes an even harder fight for Joshua. So Joshua's game plan, his tactics in this fight are going to be very interesting to me. It's going to be very interesting. Yeah, Hurd hasn't been the same since Lara. I agree. I agree. The hidden again, by the way, coming in with another super chat. Born and raised in New York City, USA, I would love to see Smith Jr. versus Jacobs. I predict Smith Jr. by TKO. Jacobs looked bad versus Rosado. Yeah, I agree. I think Joe Smith is naturally too big, too strong for Danny Jacobs. I think Danny's a better fighter, you know, but he's not a light heavyweight, in my opinion. He's not a real light heavyweight. So I take Joe Smith Jr. But in all honesty, I don't really want to see that fight. I want to see Joe Smith fight Artur Beterbiev. Unification fight. That's what I want to see. But, you know, after that Maxim Vlasov fight, maybe Joe's got cold feet. Maybe he wants a fight which will generate money with less risk. Maybe he's not willing to give up that belt just yet. I don't know. But it might be a good fight. It might be a good fight. Yeah, free Devil Boy Twitter. Yes. Yeah, Twitter are a fucking embarrassment, man. Apparently, that fucking tweet got suspended because I was encouraging like violence or something like that. I was talking about a boxing match. Insane. I'm desperate to see Joshua versus Joyce soon. AJ has Joyce's gold medal. Joe got robbed in the final because of AJ got a gift 4 years previously against Camarelli. See, me personally, I actually felt the only robbery Joshua got was the first round fight against Savon. The Camarelli fight to me was close. It could have gone either way, but again, I've not seen it since the time. But I felt the only fight Joshua definitely lost in those Olympics was Savon. I felt he lost that fight. Yeah, Joyce versus Joker's the fight to make. Takam can fight Shannon Briggs. Exactly. See, Carlos Takam would be ideal for someone like Daniel Dubois. He'll be ideal for Dubois. But you're right, man. I mean, listen, these young prospects, or these, well, not young, but these prospects need to start fighting each other. The likes of Hrgovic, Yoka, Joe Joyce. Well, Joe Joyce has already done it. So, but yeah, these guys need to fight each other, man. There's no doubt about it. It'll be a great fight. I'm taking Joe Joyce in that fight, though, against Yoka. Taking Joe Joyce. Joyce isn't going to get a shot at a world title for a while. He may as well go the white route of quality, high-paying non-title fights. Yeah, I mean that's another fight I'd love to see. Dillian White, Joe Joyce. That's another great fight. But yeah, Joe needs to, now the whole Usyk thing's kind of fallen through, Joe needs to stay active. Fight in the summer and try and have a big fight in the winter against like an elite level top 10 heavyweight. I want to see Joe fight again. Yodel, who are you picking for Ritson versus Ponce? I mean, to be honest, Mini Max, I've not really done my due diligence on Ponce, so I can't really tell you. But if it's a close fight, Lewis Ritson's going to get it on points. I'd say Lewis Ritson on points. Good fight, Adair Pennant. I'd like to see it. Yeah, Joyce is 35, so to find a while for him, he needs to get a title shot in the next 2 or 3 years. I agree. Yeah, Pellew will be there, no doubt. He's been rimming Matchroom hard recently. Yeah, he's looking for a job. Yeah, Tony Bellew definitely doesn't wear the pants in his marriage. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Tony Bellew's wife. She looks like a bulldog who's chewed a wasp. You know, got that real sour face to her. To be fair, though, living with Tony Bellew, can you blame her? I don't really blame her, to be honest. I can't hate on her. Joshua's got less gas than Venezuela. Yeah, Joe Joyce was a late starter to boxing. Yeah, he was. Yeah, 22 years old. Considering that, he's done very well. But, you know, Joe Joyce was always an athlete. I think he was a rugby player. I think he did ballet at one point or cheerleading, something like that. He's an athletic dude, man, Joe Joyce. Strong guy as well, man. Naturally just a big dude, man. I rate how Sam Jones manages his fighters. Richards and Joyce, look at where they are now. Yeah, Sam Jones was so confident about that Daniel Dubois fight. He was like rubbing his hands together, man. He knew, man. And still, yeah, the best fight prediction for Joe Joyce Dubois was Fight Film. He called it like bang on, like so confident with his prediction, and it basically came to fruition. Like his build up videos to Dubois Joyce were exceptional, man. So big up Fight Film. Yeah, both Jacobs and Smith lost their last fights. I wouldn't disagree. I felt Maxime Blasov clearly beat Joe Smith 8 rounds to 4. As for Danny Jacobs, I mean, that was such a shit fight. I didn't really care, to be honest. What are people thinking of Furman at the moment? Will he fight again? He'll fight again, but, you know, it'll be a cash-out type of fight. Maybe you might see a rematch with Danny Garcia or Sean Porter, something like that. But he's not going to really want to come back and fight young contenders and build himself back up. That's not going to happen. I think Keith Thurman's got a bit too comfortable now, so you're not going to really see him fight for legacy at this point. He's going to want to fight for paydays. Yeah, Smith's hard hat won't save him against Beterbiev, American down. Yeah, listen, Joe's got a puncher's chance, but I just think Beterbiev mauls him. I think he'll smother him, push him back, maul him, and stop him. Big up to Jim McDonald's corner. Exactly, yeah. Joe Joyce will fight Takam next, more than likely. Yeah, if Joyce went into boxing instead of track and field as a youngster, the man's a super dangerous dude, yeah. He's already dangerous right now, Ed, man. He's already dangerous right now. So, yeah, let alone what would have happened if he turned to boxing a lot younger. Tells all about plus-size women and undersized heavyweights. Fuck's sake. See, I've totally forgot that fight, Shepard. I've totally forgot that fight. I'll need to watch it again. The world knows AJ was concussed going into MSG. Even Big Baby Miller's female manager knew that. Team AJ can't say it or heads will roll. I mean, let's be honest, yeah. What's Big Baby's manager's name? Serafina? I mean, she's not exactly reliable. I wouldn't take her word with any particular merit, to be honest. Listen, he just got beat by the better man on the night. Joshua made a mistake. He leant in, got greedy, got caught, and he couldn't recover. Joshua didn't look concussed in the first 3 rounds. Hrgovic is a hype job. I wouldn't say that, man. I think he's a good prospect. There's a reason why a lot of guys are ducking him right now. His fellow pros don't think so. Yeah, Thurman's pretty much half, if not fully retired. The man's recent crowning achievement is managing to gather more dust than Gary Russell Jr. Yeah, it's been rumoured that Hurd was avoiding VADA testing since a J-Rock rematch, and Hurd hasn't been the same in the ring since. My memory could be incorrect on this. No, you're right. You're right, yeah. That's why that rematch didn't happen. Exactly, Shep. Yeah, I can't call the guy a hype job when half of the fucking IBF rankings are ducking him. 11k subs on the second channel. When's the next vid, or what's the next vid? I've got a few ideas in mind, G-Man, but I've not really settled on it yet. But yeah, the second channel is going really well, funnily enough. But we'll see, man. We'll see where it goes, man. I'm just having fun with it, really. We'll see where it goes. And again, G-Man, if you do your second channel, let me know. Do a couple of videos, and I'll shout you out on the other channel. But yeah, big up to G-Man Boxing for the contribution, man. Salute. These young fighters need to buy Derek Chisora's soul and beat him and move on. Yeah, Derek's still knocking about, man. Yeah, Hrgovic isn't really moving that sharply to get into contention. I mean, you say that, though. He's like IBF man. Well, he's got a position in the IBF which grants him an eliminator. So whether you think he deserves that or not, he's got that. So he's waiting on somebody to accept. I mean, I don't know really what else he can do right now. Who's the one fighter everybody seems to like, even hardcore fans who you just can't stand for some reason? For me, it's Canelo. We'll never forgive the beef stuff. Guy's an indulged cheater of a man. Yeah, well, a lot of people don't like Canelo, man. There's a lot of people out there who don't like Canelo. So maybe you could say Canelo, he's still got a massive fan base, but there's a lot of guys out there who can't really stand Canelo, including myself. I don't really know, I don't really know. I'll be honest, yeah. Danny Garcia is a guy who's always got hate in the boxing community, like a lot of hate. I've always liked Danny Garcia. I've always liked watching him fight, to be honest. I'd say Danny Garcia. I know it's a lesser example, but I've always liked Danny Garcia. Would love to have Lloyd and Barker on duo on DAZN. Great matchup with lots of insight, but humour as well. Yeah, I don't think Darren Barker's as bad as people say. Everybody compares Joyce to Foreman, and fighters last much longer these days. Indeed, yeah. And as we said, yeah, Joe had a late start to boxing, so it's not like this kid's been boxing since he was 10 years old and he's got all those miles on the clock. He's only been boxing for, 13 years, which is not a super long time, really. Yeah, Capoeira, yep, Joe Joyce does that. Yeah, he's an athletic dude, man. Considering Joyce's age, a Takam fight would be disappointing after his previous win against Dubois. I wouldn't mind seeing Takam against Anderson or Ajagbavo. Yeah, they're good fights. Why do you dislike Tony Bellew? What's there to like about the guy? I'll be honest, yeah, Tony Bellew is one of those guys I dislike so much. I do let it get in the way of me analysing his career. I think Tony Bellew genuinely really could have been a solid cruiserweight. He did some good work at cruiserweight, to be honest, while he was there. But if Tony started at cruiserweight, I think that guy would have done a lot of damage in the division. I can't stand Tony, but I think in retrospect, when I look back, I probably shat on him a bit too much as a boxer. I think Tony was okay, a good fighter. Alan Babic is the superior Croatian. Yeah, these pundits are just exerting themselves into positions. Yeah, I've seen that on Twitter. Okole's fighting mandatory in the US. Okay, interesting. Big boy question. If Pac-Man beats Spence and then goes and beats Crawford, is he the pound-for-pound greatest of all time? I would say yes, Will Stokes. I would say yes. And again, big up to Kevin Johnson. I saw Kevin Johnson's name get mentioned. Big up to G-Man again for the contribution. I suspected Dubois had a stamina issue from the Kevin Johnson fight. That's why I picked Joyce over him. Dubois blows hard from the 4th round onwards. Yeah, I'm watching the UFC this weekend. Yeah, Leon Edwards is fighting Nate Diaz. I'll watch that. That's if I'm not out, at least. That's if I'm not out. Because it's for football this weekend, then it's for Euros. We're playing Croatia, so I'm not sure when that is. Yeah, Hrgovic-Bacole, good fight. Good fight. Yeah, Thurman's career's over. They don't keep their fighters active at the PBC. I agree. I think Makhmudov would kill Gerald Washington at this stage at the opponents, but it's a good name for him. It's definitely a good name. Yeah, use Thurman to build or test contenders or prospects. Exactly. That's really all I can see from Keith Thurman these days. So, for example, maybe Jaron Ennis. I think Keith Thurman versus Ennis would be relatively interesting. Or even Keith Thurman versus Virgil Ortiz. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Yeah, you know the way, man. I'm always fucking slipping behind. Yeah. Yeah, no way there was hard sparring Joshua before the fight. Yeah, I'm not buying those excuses, man. I'm not buying them. There was all sorts of ridiculous excuses at the time. Al Heyman drugged Joshua. That was a clone of Joshua. I saw all of this on YouTube. It's insane. UK pound for pound by miles, Josh Taylor. Again, I would agree. In like a pound for pound sense, in terms of like the world pound for pound list, I think Josh Taylor's getting a little bit too much credit. His resume is great. He's got some good wins, but the only thing we need to consider with Josh Taylor is he's fighting in a division in which he's got a size advantage over most fighters. So people calling Josh Taylor top 5 pound for pound right now, I think it's a little premature, to tell you the truth. If he goes up to welterweight and beats a Crawford, then we're talking. But as good as his wins have been at 140, he is still relying on a size advantage in most of these fights, in a lot of these fights at least. So the whole pound for pound thing with Josh Taylor, let's hold back a little bit. But yeah, in terms of UK pound for pound, I'd agree. Gary Antonio Russell versus Manny Rodriguez and Angelo Leo versus Aaron Almeida. Who are you picking? I'd say Leo on points over Almeida, and Gary Russell on points over Manny Rodriguez. 2 points decisions for the A-side fighters. I'll tell you what, actually, speaking of Gary Antonio Russell, I like the look of his brother, Gary, what's his name? Gary Antoine Russell at 140. He looks real solid, he does. He looks real solid. Yeah, G-Man's second channel will do well, man. He's got the narration skills, I'm sure. Yeah, that was one of my bad picks, Will Stokes, Dubois Joyce. I kind of fell into the hype. I won't lie to you guys. I just fell into it, is what it is. Tyson Fury, for me, used to be a huge fan till the comeback. Now he's a tool like his dad and brother. Yeah, do you know what, Bump of K? I agree. I actually agree. I take back my previous suggestion of Danny Garcia. I used to like Tyson Fury as well before the Klitschko fight, and even after the Klitschko fight, just after. But ever since that fake retirement, the fake mental health, and all this nonsense, and his comeback, yeah, Tyson Fury is just another establishment pawn, really. Somebody's got to Tyson Fury. They got to him a long time ago. So yeah, Tyson Fury is a good shout. I'm not a fan of Tyson Fury. Second channel ideas for G-Man. Geography with G-Man. Carl Frampton's anecdotes, a retrospective, a Simps guide to female boxing. Fuck's sake. Adesanya versus Vettori. I'd say Adesanya on points. Talk boxing. Vettori needs to get Adesanya on the ground and keep him there, but if it's on the feet, Adesanya is going to piece him up. Isn't it a shame how Amir Khan's basically become a new Audley Harrison? Fans just consider him a long-running joke now and forget his achievements. Shame his career first half was so impressive. Yeah, Khan basically up until the Danny Garcia fight had a nice little run, to be honest. He had some good wins. Maidana, Kotelnik. And by the way, Kotelnik, he beat Devin Alexander, got fucking robbed. He beat Maidana, Kotelnik. Kotelnik was a good fighter. Khan comprehensively beat him. He beat Judah, who went on to give Danny Garcia a hard fight. As I said, he beat Maidana. Khan had a good little run at one point. Had a good little run. It has, yeah. Slime Entertainment, yeah. That win's aged really nicely. Okay, so Ade was talking to Matchroom, and apparently they offered him the job, but he turned it down, saying that if he was on there, if he said anything bad, he would get in trouble, but he doesn't want it. Okay, cool. Yeah, Bellew's skills are underrated, but he's a total tool. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I do kind of let my I wouldn't say hatred. That's a bad word. I do let my dislike of Tony Bellew get in the way of what he was as a fighter, especially at cruiserweight. He was a good fighter, Tony Bellew. He was a good fighter. Big up to Tony Boswell. Much respect to Blue Collar Sports and the chat. Stop by to show support, working and listening. Big up to Tony, man. Big up to Tony. Can Vettori beat the one boob wonder gender bender? Yo, he's got to be a massive abuser of some sort of fucking steroid, man. Israel Adesanya. His fucking titties are so deformed, man. He's got the weirdest body structure I've ever seen. Israel Adesanya. He's got a weird body structure, man. He's a good fighter, though, Adesanya, but I'm sure he's using something. I'm sure of it. Yeah, I dislike Wilder, Fury, and Khan the most in boxing. They're just too manipulative and insult my intelligence when I hear them waffling on. Yeah, I'm not a fan of any of those guys. I used to like Khan back in the day, but yeah. Do you dislike Bellew more than Paul Smith? Yeah, I'd say so. Vittori and Diaz are getting banged out. All of the Russell brothers have the best hands in boxing. Yeah, they are. They are all good fighters. Like Gary Russell, to me, I think Gary's been a massive, massive, massive waste of talent. But there we go. Funny how you're talking about Bellew. I was watching that video you made about the Cash Ali thing back then, and 100% agree with what you said. Yeah. Okay, a fighter that you was convinced would do well, only to fall flat. O'Hara Davis is mine. Interesting one. A fighter who I thought would do big things but fell flat. It's a lesser one, but Alexander Teslenko, who was like a Ukrainian heavyweight prospect, I thought he would do some big things, but he got knocked out by Sean Del Toro Winters, who fucking lost to Alan Babbage. So that was a bad one. I was really sold on him, but yeah, I mean Teslenko's definitely up there. Who else? It's not really due to him losing, but Frankie Gomez. If you guys remember Frankie Gomez, I thought that guy was going to do some massive things in boxing. The guy could do everything. He could box, he could move, he could brawl, he could counter, he could work the body. He was so versatile as a fighter, man. But he just basically, from what I understand, fell out of love with boxing, got involved with the wrong people, and he's not fought for a long time now, Frankie Gomez. But I was convinced that Frankie would do something big in boxing. Del, will you at some point begin following women's boxing like you follow women's MMA? Because it grows more and more. It will become hard to ignore, I guess. Now I can't see it, bro. Like even female MMA, I'll watch it. I can watch it, but it's not like I get super hyped for it. I'd rather watch female MMA than boxing, but it's not really a passion of mine. I can't really get into it. I would say Figueiredo again. Figueiredo to win this one. Yeah, post-Batman Fury sucks. Yeah. It's like he's been remade by a shit director. Yeah, Harley Quinn, Tony Bellew is an absolute joke. He's so hard to like, it takes away from his achievements. He was a good fighter, just a clown outside of boxing, yeah. Big up to Levi Khan, salute. Yeah, I know he's a novice and all that, but Tommy Fury has very little natural talent. Slow twitch, no snap. Yeah, he sucks. Tommy Fury. He'll get flatlined pretty soon. He'll make some money though. He's got that name, so we'll see where he goes. Taylor versus the Prime Khan, who wins? I think Amir Khan would give Josh Taylor a lot of trouble early on, but I think Josh Taylor works his way into the fight, makes it a rough inside battle. I could see it being similar to the Lamont Peterson fight. I could see it being similar to that fight. I think maybe Taylor in a real close points win. I don't think it's an easy fight, though, like a lot of people do. Delby on the ones and twos, indeed. If you could smash the like, by the way, lads, be much appreciated. Did anybody notice that Canelo has brought guys up in weight to fight him after they had a good win in their weight class? I mean, yeah, here's what it is with Canelo. I'm just bored of the whole Canelo discussion, to tell you the truth, boxing learner. I'm just bored of it. I don't really get excited by his fights, and I don't get excited about by talking about him, to be honest. So until he fights a guy in which I'm excited about, I'm just bored with Canelo. The last tip bender. Yeah, Dave Allen would play with Ngannou. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's certainly suspect, Tony Boswell. Dyes his hair pink, reads anime. The guy's a bit suspect, let's be honest about it. Yeah, Khan was the man at 140. He beat Bradley by walkover, only blemish on Tim's career, not giving us undisputed, if I remember. Yeah, those two guys should have fought each other, but Tim Bradley was the guy who seemed reluctant to take that fight. I think what happened, he then fought Casamayor and then fought Pacquiao. So maybe he was promised the Pacquiao fight. Maybe that's why he never fought Khan, which I can kind of understand, but would have been a great fight, man. Tim Bradley, Amir Khan would have been a great fight. You could see Bradley doing something similar to what Peterson did, but good fight, man. I like that name, man. That name. Is he's gay? Antoine Russell will surpass Gary Russell Jr. I do like him, XMB 45. I think he's a real good prospect. Logan beat Floyd rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. See, I never watched the fight, bro. I saw the highlights, and that's really it. Yeah, Vladislav Glaskov. Yeah, he lost to Charles Martin and retired because of his knee injury. He never came back. And I'm sure like a couple of years ago, he officially announced his retirement. Yeah, he's got such a weird body, man. Israel Adesanya. Like, I'm not going to say what I want to say because of how YouTube is, but he looks like a. I'm not going to say it, man. I'm not going to say it. You know how you can be anything you want to be these days with surgery? He looks like one of those types. That's all I'll say. Antoine Russell versus Giasov. Who would win? I would take Antoine Russell, Jiho Park. Good fight, though. Good fight. Shakram Giasov's been looking a lot better recently. I saw his fight with Emmanuel Taylor a couple of years ago. Wasn't all that impressed. He got hurt in that fight, kind of struggled with the pressure. But since then, he's looked quite good. So I would say Antoine Russell, but it's a good fight. I agree. O'Hara Davis was ahead of Conor Benn in talent at one point. Can't really say that now. Yeah, O'Hara Davis broke his jaw in sparring. Yeah. Unpopular opinion, but I liked Kyle Frampton on punditry the other night on BT. Yeah, I think he's okay. Haydar, I think he's okay. At welterweight, O'Hara Davis versus Conor Benn. See, I wouldn't mind seeing it, bro. I think Conor Benn fucking fucks him up, but it'll be an interesting build-up. Why? I'd see it. I'd watch it, sorry. Tommy Fury wants is Jake Paul because he himself can't box actual top fighters. I agree. Wilder is the Joker of boxing. He's hilarious and causes chaos by ruining potential big heavyweight fights. To be fair to Wilder, man, he never ruined it, man. If he signed for that contract and he was legally obliged to it and entitled to it, then who are we to say Wilder messed it up? If anything, it was Team Fury. I don't blame Wilder. I mean, Wilder got his ass whooped in the last fight, and he's going back in there again. I guess you got to respect that to a certain degree, considering how the first fight played out. It wasn't like he lost a controversial split decision. He got fucking whooped, and he's going in there again. So you may dislike Wilder, but I guess I've got to give him some credit for taking that fight again. I agree. Somebody believed I was going to be really good and fell flat was Ismail Salak. I still don't know what I saw to this day. No, he was a good boxer, Ismail Salak. He was a real good boxer. Real like quick, slick. You know, he was a good boxer, but he had no fucking chin, Ismail Salak. I fucking still remember when Kovalev iced him and he taunted him after he knocked him out. That was in Canada, I think. I think that was on the Bellew Stevenson card, actually. But yeah, Ismail Salak, yeah, that's a good shout. A lot of people were excited about him. Because at the time, Ismail Salak was, did he represent Russia or Ukraine? One of the two. And they was calling that guy like a Russian-Ukrainian Roy Jones. That's what a lot of people were saying on the forums. I'll tell you what, actually, Lucien Butte, he's a guy I thought would do a lot of big things in boxing. I love this style, Lucien Butte. That uppercut to the body was beautiful, man. I like Lucien Butte's style, and I thought he would do a lot more. I thought he would beat Carl Froch. Got that horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. Prediction for who's the best at 147 in a couple of years, Ennis or Ortiz? I think Virgil Ortiz has better fundamentals. I think he's more naturally he's better put together right now in terms of skill set. I think Ennis has the size. He's got the athletic ability. I don't think he's quite as good as Ortiz in terms of boxing skills right now. But in a couple of years, do you know what? I might be tempted to say Ennis, believe it or not. Amir Khan's a bum. He is now. Mo. He is now. See, I'm not a fan of anime, man. I don't see what people see in it, bro. Just seems like a big waste of time, man. If I'm going to read a book or read something, I'd rather it be something educational to some degree. David Price beats him, Hader, in my opinion. Thoughts on Jean Pharmaceutical or Pharmascal? Yeah, I mean, what more can you say? What more can you say, Jared? It is what it is, man. He just got caught. Big up to Truth Son, man. Thank you for the contribution. He says, big up, Del. Big up to yourself, bro. Hopefully the weather's shining bright where you are. Hopefully your day's going good. In the UK right now, it's fucking boiling. I'm sitting here in my fucking pants. But yeah, big up to Truth Son, man. Allegedly. Maybe that's what I was getting at. Maybe. Who knows? I was picking Khan to outpoint everybody. Sorry, I was picking Khan to outpoint Tim. Nobody outboxes Khan. Everybody knocks him out. Tim had a 30% KO ratio. That's true. That is very true. That is very true. I just thought maybe Tim could stifle Amir Khan by staying on his chest, you know, being glued to him kind of thing and outworking him. See, I thought Lamont Peterson genuinely beat Amir Khan. Maybe I'm in the minority there, but I thought Lamont genuinely beat him. But that would have been a real interesting fight. It's a shame we never got it. See, I used to be a Khan fan, believe it or not. I used to be a Khan fan. Like, he was one of the first guys who got me into boxing because of when he was in the Olympics. That was a big story in the UK, and it kind of got me into boxing as a kid. So I do like Amir Khan to a certain degree, even now, I guess. Yeah, O'Hara called out Florian Marku some time ago. Would be a good fight. Yeah, I'd watch that. That's a good fight. That's a good fight. Yeah, his body shape is so weird, JD. Like, totally skipped leg day. Like, he's got the weirdest body dimensions I've ever seen. Like, he's got short legs, long ass arms, big fucking chest. He looks so weird. Tommy Fury or Campbell Hatton, who goes further? I think they're both useless, to tell you the truth. But I think maybe Tommy Fury, to be honest. I think Campbell Hatton's fucking useless, even more so. I mean, allegedly, maybe, potentially. So you guys are just now out here creating rumors about Israel Adesanya. I mean, you guys are just beyond the pale at this point. You can be what you want to be these days, man. But yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, Boots is fucking massive, man. That's another good point, Mad Chad. Is he going to be at welterweight in a couple of years' time? Who knows? Big up to Truth Son again, by the way. Thank you very much. Yeah, if Butte had taken part in the Super 6, how well do you think he would have done? I mean, the Super 6, man, there were so many fucking pullouts. It's hard to fucking remember who was in there, but I think he would have done okay. See, everybody says he ducked for Super 6, but from what I recall, I might be wrong here, but from what I recall, he wanted to be in it, but he wasn't invited. That's what I remember, but maybe I'm totally wrong on that. It was a long time ago. But everyone said that he ducked it. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I don't think that's the case. See, again, I've got my own opinions on that, Crazy D3, but I don't want to upset people. Ennis has got a chinny looking face, if that makes any sense. No, I agree. There's certain guys you look at and you think to yourself, that cunt can't take a punch. He's going to get flattened. Very interesting to see how Tommy Fury's career unfolds. I don't think he's actually that good in all honesty, but he's got huge star power, yeah. But yeah, like Fight Film said, yeah, get behind real fighters. And Tommy Fury right now isn't that. He's out here looking at the likes of Jake Paul, which really says it all, really. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. To be fair to Hatton and Fury, people said similar things about Conor Benn early on, and look at him now. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But even Conor Benn, as bad as he looked on his pro debut, he looked a lot better than fucking Campbell Hatton. A lot better. Tommy Fury takes after his dad's, maybe Tyson's mum's genes. I bet Evan Fury DNA. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Crazy. No, I don't watch anime. I don't watch anime. Don't read it. Don't watch it. I don't understand the appeal in it, to be honest with you. I don't get this phenomenon, like this cultural fucking switch towards anime, man. I don't get it. Yeah, exactly. Jiho Park. I think AJ's going to stick on pay-per-view. Martin Butler, whether the Zone get him or not in the UK, I think he'll stick on pay-per-view. So you might see the Zone pay-per-views real soon. Pimp my sniper, buzzing for Friday's Fight Zone TV. Hopefully White Rhino's on commentary again. Exactly, Mad Chad. Yeah, with snack and other weight cutting supplements, Boots or whoever can stay at whatever weights they want. Indeed. Butte had a real chance of sparking Ward with the uppercut. Bad match up for the headbutter. Ward refused to fight in Canada. Butte in Canada. Showtime wanted it. Yeah, I remember that. People forget that, though. People forget that. Like the Butte fight, Butte wanted it, Showtime wanted it, but Ward never wanted to go to Canada. That was the situation. I think it was the same thing with Adonis Stevenson as well. See, I was always super interested in the Stevenson fight. That's the fight for me in which I felt Ward might lose, actually. I felt Stevenson had a great chance against Ward, but we'll never know. SpongeBob is acceptable, though. Fuck's sake. Okay, Jorge Rubio's in the corner of Teofimo for Cambosos. I think I could be in the fucking corner. He'll smoke Cambosos, man. To me, boxing's a gentleman's sport and MMA is a gladiator sport. To be fair, though, MMA conduct themselves more as a gentleman's sport than boxing. To be fair. Okay, cool. I get you. I get you, Will. I get you. Yeah, John Fury, I can't stand. Man gets on camera ranting as if he's some man who's got no time for bullshit merchants. He's cheated on Tyson's mum and had Tommy. Man's a wedding vow breaking bum. Yeah, I think John Fury's just enjoying the limelight right now. And I agree, though, he is annoying. The whole Fury clan to me is annoying, all of them. Apart from, I like Peter Fury, I like Huey Fury, but the rest of those guys, man, can go and suck a dick. What next for Nathan Heaney? Fighting that Irish kid who was on the undercard on the same show. I forgot his name. The Irish kid. You know who I'm talking about. He must have been terrible. Wilder 1 round. Wilder by first round knockout. In my opinion, Sky's boxing cards have got progressively worse over the last few years. Do you think it's the responsibility of quality control at the Zone to make sure Eddie puts on competitive fights? Yeah, I do, yeah. And we'll see, man. He's got a bigger budget now. He's promising the world. You know, our fans going to hold him up to that standard. We shall see. I mean, he has promised this before. If you go back to like 2017, people were complaining about all the pay-per-views, and one of the justifications at the time for the pay-per-views was, oh, yeah, there's more pay-per-views. We're charging for these fights, but as a result, the regular Sky Sports shows are going to be much better quality. That never happened. That never happened. So listen, take Eddie Hearn's word with a grain of salt. We'll see what happens with the zone. We'll see what happens. Yeah, boxing fans seems to be a bit of a cesspit, to be honest. Bump of K. Who would have won between Andre Ward and Badu Giak? I'd say Ward on points in a pretty competitive fight. Would have been a good fight though. John Fury still ducking Mickey Fitto. See, I would like to see him fight Julio Cesar Martinez, Jared Thompson, but apparently he's got a mandatory next. I think against like a Filipino maybe. So he's got a Mando next, from what I've been hearing at least. Always looked at MMA as like boxing's younger, less classy sibling, laugh out loud, but don't know much about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm a casual MMA fan. I like it now and again. Some good fights. I do get into it occasionally, but I've never really diverted my attention to MMA. Just not really got the time to follow both boxing and MMA. I've seen Alan say when he's not training, he eats nothing till 4 or 5, then KFC and pizza all day, and he expects us to feel sorry for him. Yeah, people like that sort of behaviour, though, G-Man. People like it. I can't stand these MMA kids on Twitter saying boxing's a pussy sport. At the end of the day, boxing's much more dangerous. Boxing is more dangerous, but in terms of the way the fighters move and who they fight and when they fight, they've got a point, to be honest. A lot of fighters are a lot more calculated in regards to who they fight in comparison to like UFC. So you can make. I know what you're saying. But I'm not going to shit on MMA. I'm not going to shit on UFC. It's a decent product. How far do you reckon Michael McKinson can go? Great win over Congo, yeah. Very, very good win, yeah. A solid domestic level contender, I would say. Maybe a British champion at welterweight, something like that. Can't really see him going beyond that, though, to tell you the truth. Like, I think he could beat Chris Jenkins, who I still believe has the British title. Sonny won't duck anybody. He doesn't care about VO. He wants the money. Yeah, to be honest with you, Sonny Edwards was a guy who I kind of disliked, but he's kind of grown on me as I've listened to his interviews and heard him speak a bit more. He's kind of grown on me. I still can't stand his brother, though. Yeah, his brother's a cunt, but big up to Carlos Mendoza. If anything normal, Sky got worse after 2017. All them pay-per-views for nothing. Indeed, yeah. Like 2017 was a decent year. We had Joshua Klitschko, Spence versus Brook. There was another Joshua card as well. I forgot what it was, but there were some good fight cards in 2017. But after that, it kind of went downhill, in my opinion. It went downhill. Yeah, he's back in August, Martin. And yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, Cash Ali versus Dave Allen. Yeah, I think Cash Ali beats him now. MMA is great when it's stand-up. Ground looks too batty for me to enjoy. At $1.99 a month, who cares who you see? Lucky to get a picture for £1.99. Yeah, but it's going to go up. It's going to go up once Matchroom are really established in the UK on DAZN. It's going to go up. Yeah, Chisora versus Parker pay-per-view. 10 losses for Chisora, and Parker is for Joe Bugner of our era. Yeah, exactly, bro. Sky have always been rip-off merchants. DAZN will be far more demanding of quality from Hearn. He puts on crappy shows. They lose precious subscribers. Nobody was leaving Sky because of a football. Yeah. I schooled my friend about his casual opinions on Floyd Paul. His response, boxing is boring, and yet he watched. Indeed, man. Indeed. Who? Do you mean John Fuchs? Ex pimp. Carlos Monzon versus Golovkin. That'd be a fucking war, you know. That'd be a fucking war. If you could take a time machine and take Carlos Monzon against the prime Golovkin, do you know what? I might actually go Golovkin in a war. Yeah, fuck it. We'll go Golovkin, man. Why not? Most people live vicariously through who they support. Dave Allen fans seem to see a bit of themselves in him. Shaking my head. Yeah, I agree, Truth Son. I totally agree. Do you think Hearn will have Allen on DAZN? Will be a good statement if he passes on the comeback. Probably wishful thinking. No, hopefully not, man. I don't want to see Dave Allen full stop in a ring, in a commentary booth, as an analyst. Don't want to see him full stop. Yeah, I'll take Cash Ali. I'll take him on points, though. I'll take him on points. Simba Alabama King. Tell, why did you message 78 asking to be in the LDBC? It's always one of these fake accounts, man. Counter punchers over boxers. I've got Golovkin. Be a war, man. Be a war. Would love to see it. I'm still interested in seeing whether Golovkin's going to fight this summer against Esquiva Falcao. I want to see him. I want to see him back in action, fight twice this year. And I really like that Murata fight. I think that's a lot harder than people are making it out. People are making out like Murata's some sort of bum who can't fight. I think that's a hard fight for Golovkin at this stage. In Golovkin's prime, I would have confidently picked Golovkin to beat Murata, but now, I don't know, man. I think that's a hard fight. That's going to be a fucking war as well in Japan. That'll be a great fight, you know. I probably still favour Golovkin, but that's a hard one to call. I think you'll see a couple of the regular faces, Martin, like Tony Bellew, Darren Barker, and a few new faces. Hopefully, someone like Paulie Malignaggi, maybe someone like that. Yeah, I never even knew about it. Pimp my sniper. Never even knew about it. G-Man's got Carlos Monzon over Golovkin. Brook and Furman in their primes, and now at 154 or a catch weight. So prime for prime, I might. Do you know what? It's a hard one to call, but I might favour Kell Brook. As for now, Keith Furman knocks him out. Yeah, I have seen that bump of K. I have seen that. Yeah, he's a strong dude, Gennady Golovkin, man. Strong dude. Yeah, Ian Dark would be a great shout. J-Dav would be a great shout. Yeah, I liked Ian Dark back in the day with Glenn McCrory and Jim Watt. Yeah, Ian Dark was a great commentator. Big Man Lanaji fan on commentary. Also shout out to Barry Jones. Wood and Jones, good American analysts. I don't mind Roy Jones. To be honest. Yeah, I agree, Jiho Park. I don't want to see Dave Allen in the ring again. His chin has been worn down to pieces, as shown when he sparred Usyk. If Allen continues to fight, he might end up being a story on your second channel. It could be, man. He could be, yeah. And again, a guy who can't punch, basically retired Dave Allen in sparring with headgear. You know, this little guy who can't punch, Alexander Usyk. You know, a guy who Dillian White couldn't stop, didn't put a dent in. But you know, this guy can't punch, apparently. I can't see DAZN putting Bellew on every time. Yeah, I can't see DAZN putting on Bellew every time Sky had him on. They complained. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be one of those fights. It'll be back and forth all the way till the end, and I think Golovkin might get a late stoppage. Be a great fight though, man. The battle of the jabs, man, will be amazing. Who do you want next for Felix Cash? I would say Liam Williams as ex-pimp. Gregory Mustafa Pigeon. Delitz Pigeon, why did you block my account, dude? Also, you said you was going to stop smoking. Send me the link. I'm smoking natural ingredients, bro. What are you talking about? And I never blocked your account, by the way, unless somebody else did. The zone should get pulled empty. Yeah, Bellew's hung himself, especially with that shouting he did during Usyk Chisora. Very unprofessional, yeah. He got so many complaints about that. See, I love this idea as well. I don't care for commentary. We need to be able to choose a cappella versions of fights. It's a good shout, just crowd noise, hearing the punches. I totally agree. That'd be a great shout. I think I'm certain Sky did that for football at one point in time. I'm certain of it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they've done that before with certain sports. He's funny as fuck, J-Dav. He's funny as fuck. Isn't it weird how certain AJ fanboys condone ducking? Like, why wouldn't we want to see AJ versus Usyk as a great fight? Indeed, man. That was my only point on the matter. I don't get why guys were so offended by people wanting that fight. It's a great fight. And now it looks like it is going to happen. So, yeah, looking good, man. It's looking good. Looks like we're going to get that fight. Yeah, Liam, I agree, Jared Thompson. Liam Williams, Felix Cash, great fight. Great fight. After Canelo beats Plant, he needs to lure Ward back into the ring for a mega fight. If he doesn't, fight Golovkin again. Yeah, I mean, when he beats Plant, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Benavidez, a third Golovkin fight, Dimitri Bivol. There are fights I want to see him take. I wouldn't mind having Algieri on the DAZN commentary. From what I've heard from him so far, he seems very capable for the job, yeah. He doesn't sound too bad, Chris Algieri. He's not too bad at all. I've not seen Frank Maloney in a while. Has anybody seen him? Yeah, Christ knows. Rumoured Adam Smith was putting his hat in the ring to jump over to DAZN months ago, but the DAZN high-ups told him heading in a different direction. Good to hear, Martin. Good to hear. Can Americans even understand Bellew? More than likely not. I can barely understand Bellew, so God help the Americans. I can barely understand the guy at times. Yeah, on Football Sky have the fan zone option as an alternative to commentary. DAZN should have boxing YouTubers as an option. Lo Jian, big up to you. Usyk. Yeah, a 1-2 dog has no chance. Yeah, exactly. Again, I can't wait for that fight, man. I cannot wait for it. See, I would be tempted to get tickets, but you know how the world is right now. I don't want to be fucking about and doing certain things to get tickets. So if there's no restrictions, I might try and get tickets. But if there's any sort of restrictions or I've got to do anything in particular, I won't bother. But maybe. Yeah, the key for DAZN is getting Premiership rights. Casual fans will watch boxing after football. Yeah, that's how Sky was so effective. Yeah, exactly. Premier League's renewing with Sky and BT and Amazon, yeah. So the next few years, they're locked in. So DAZN right now, they're going to need to think outside the box to attract more subscribers in the UK because boxing is a niche sport, no matter what people say. It's not really going to be a big subscriber driver, so we'll see what they do. Hay and Froch are okay. They're okay. I've not seen too much of him. Ex-pimp. I've not seen too much of him, so I'll need to see. I don't get the hate for boxing when we are getting super fights like Mayweather versus Logan Paul And Woodley versus Jake Paul. The sport is 100% thriving, and it's not on its last legs. Can we agree that Shakur would have beaten the absolute hell out of Burchell? I'd have picked Shakur Stevenson, yeah. In hindsight, especially, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. I want to see Shakur fight Jamel Herring next. I know he's fighting this weekend, but after that, fight Jamel Herring. So he's fighting for the WBO interim title. I wonder whether that means Jamel Herring's going to vacate and fight for the WBC against Oscar Valdez, and then Shakur gets elevated. I could see that happening. Hay and Froch speak their minds, but talk a lot of bollocks. You wonder what Adam Smith must be thinking when he can see all of the abuse he gets and why he insists on carrying on the same. Yeah, imagine being Adam Smith and looking at social media. Christ. Where's Maddie? Yeah, where's Madeline? Oh, Christ. I bet the PDC darts go over to the zone when the Sky contract expires in 2025. Shakur versus Herring would be very interesting. I think Shakur's body work would be the difference. Yeah, I'll take Shakur to outpoint him, Andre. But I wouldn't be surprised if Herring fights Burchell. No, not Burchell. Herring fights Valdez, fights for the WBC, vacates his WBO, and Shakur gets elevated. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Really wouldn't be surprised. Breaking news, apparently Ortiz-Ruiz for mandatory fought. Good fight. I like that fight. It's the fight I wanted for Andy Ruiz. I think Luis Ortiz-Andy Ruiz is a good fight. Wouldn't mind seeing it. Why not? I can't wait for AJ versus Usyk. It's going to be an exciting fight. I've got AJ getting the knockout late after an evenly contested technical boxing match. Who wins in a rematch between Rakhimov and Fusile? Well, Fusile was winning that first fight until he got knocked out. And there was a bit of skullduggery in that fight. I might go Rakhimov again, late stoppage. But we'll see, man. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. That's a good fight. Yes, Stanionis versus Abel Ramos. Good fight. Good little test. How do you think Lewis Ritson does, Del? Again, I'm not really all too familiar with his opponent, so I can't really say, but if this Ponce guy's half decent, he'll give Lewis Ritson a hard fight. Ritson's not looked good at 140 at all. And at lightweight, he wasn't even European level. So listen, if Ponce is half decent, he'll give Ritson a real hard fight. Big up to L-Dog. Salute to L-Dog. AJ cannot compete with Usyk, in my opinion. He can win, but yeah, he can knock him out. That's why I think Joshua just needs to try and, I'd say fight similar to how he fought Povetkin. Low left hand, trying to draw the lead, try and walk Usyk onto a real big right hand or an uppercut, something like that. Just like a one-hitter quitter type of game plan. Because I'm not sure. Again, I don't think Joshua would be wise to try and pressure Usyk and really kind of force the issue early on. I think Usyk would be too elusive and tag him coming in. And obviously, as Joshua misses punches and chases that fight, he'd get more and more gassed out. So I think Joshua needs to try and lure Usyk into a big shot. Yeah, I like Malignaggi as a commentator. I like Malignaggi. Usyk has to make Joshua work at a high pace from the start. Yeah, I agree. Make Joshua chase the fight kind of thing. Make Joshua work. Dazzle him with those feints. It's not just about exerting Joshua physically, but also mentally. Joshua's feint game, in my opinion, is not great, and he bites off feints a lot. He really does bite off those feints. Look at the Klitschko fight. Look at the battle of lead hand control and the feint game. If you look at that fight, the rounds where not much was happening, I felt Klitschko was dictating that fight. He was keeping Joshua honest. He was keeping Joshua anxious in the ring, and he was winning those rounds based on ring generalship, in my opinion. I know Klitschko's a completely different fighter to Usyk. I get that, but I don't know, man. Be a good fight, though. It's going to be a good fight. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. I need to sort a couple of bits out. But yeah, good news in regards to Joshua Usyk. Looks like it's happening, which is great. And yeah, man, hopefully you enjoyed the stream. If you could smash the like, be much appreciated. Always helps us out. So yeah, man, enjoy the rest of your week. We might go live maybe once more this week. We'll see. But peace, guys.